Thank you, and I would like to listen to your questions with great interest.
Any questions, please?
Thank you for the presentation. So you talked a lot about the AI assistance. That's I'm wondering if you could also share maybe some benchmark, more precise idea about some error score that the company are allowed to tolerate regarding the AI assistance. Because obviously there's some miracle solutions, but many make some mistakes. And it could be interesting to know about the score that companies are, let's say, willing to tolerate regarding these AI assistants. Do you have any?
The exact numbers have been an enemy of progress for frameworks because they were making them heavy. What is doing the organization is that it is trying to adopt the best possible AI assistant. And this is a knowledge-based AI assistant. It is not the assistant that is going to make an exact calculation of the predicted price of an investment instrument in a few weeks. So we consciously try to not put the things in such barriers that can be cancelled in 2 weeks. For example, we had the publicly available AI assistants, and we also have the benchmarks that are published every 2-3 weeks. And we see week number 1, Grok 2 is vastly inferior than OpenAI 0.3. Then we see after 2 weeks, Grok 3 is vastly superior. So we cannot be locked in such a situation. We want to have a knowledge baseline that is getting better and better with the time. But as knowledge is also a little bit qualitative as a concept, we don't want to block it. Yes.
Consolidation of all Jira, Confluence, PowerPoints that exist in the company should it be conceptualized like that?
Having a software that is going to involve the AI assistant is positive. But the AI assistants that are available in the market and what is coming in a few months, they already have their own beautiful software. Have some technical requirements connected to the memory of the AI assistant. If we are going to have an AI assistant being trained also to the data of the company, and this to be done systematically. Now, involving pieces of software like Jira and Confluence with the Honey Badger framework is desirable. It is not the most important thing, but it is highly desirable.
So who you if the company decides to invest in it, how will be
The top management is going to decide which AI assistant they are going to use.
Can you give us an example?
Today, the paid versions of the chatbots that you see. Today. But very soon, we are going to have a very, very, very well performing agents. And next year, we're going to have something that you don't know the name already. But it is a top level decision which AI assistant they are going to use. And they're going to receive consultation, of course, by all of the interested stakeholders. It's an important decision because we cannot change the AI assistant every 2 weeks. Yes.
Yes. First, I want to say thank you as well for your presentation. And second, as for my question.
Yes.
So you specified that the specialists are the ones who have the most knowledge on the AI system, whichever team or technology is appropriately made out, utilize for projects. While the guru manages multiple teams, right? My question would be that between the guru and the specialist, who would be the one to report to either multiple teams or senior management with regards to aspects like governance, accountability, and considering legal implications? Because like I see that's a big one.
I see. The guru is the one who cares about the framework. The specialists are working on the subject matter. and it is the guru who gives the reports. Gives the reports to the manager, and if needed, he gives the reports to higher level the errors. But it is the guru who is doing reporting. Guru. The other people should have a nice environment to concentrate and do their very highly demanding intellectual work.
The rules of
Excuse me?
is the design the dashboard.
The manager, but he can receive assistance from the guru. Yes.
First of all, thank you for the presentation. I found the idea of one AI for the transparency accessible to all actors pretty interesting. Also, would that change, for example, in specific industries or companies? For example, when we have, I don't know, trade secrets or other secrets, for example. And how do you see the honey badger framework being applied to specific highly regulated industries like finance and environmental law? Would that change anything, or would that be same applicable?
Beautiful. The factor that an industry can be very highly regulated or not is not affecting the need for a knowledge baseline. Then the performance of the compliance department needs to be very, very important. It has been shown that even huge AI, and we're not only discussing about AI projects here, but for any project, okay? But huge AI projects have been cancelled because of compliance reasons. I'm not going to mention the name of the company, but there is one that has been involved in medical matters, the AI, but they have to cancel the work due to compliance issues. So the honey badger is not attempting to fine-tune anything from the beginning. Is attempting to create conditions that are favorable with the teams, the health, the knowledge transfer, the transparency, and the AI assistant as a knowledge reference continuously accessible by all. Another question?
Just last questions. You mentioned about ESG optimization, and I heard about energy consumption. Very interesting. Do you think that given the increasing pressure on corporations to comply with environmental regulation, this particular framework will give or integrate more ESG compliance or more effectively besides the energy consumption? Do we have more examples of this?
The existence of ESG commitment has been very strongly correlated even with profitability. It's very important to know that for some reasons, companies that have targeted ESG commitment, at least commitment is an effort, conscious effort to be good in a specific direction. They have demonstrated important increase in profitability. Now we are not only concentrating on the E, as I mentioned during the presentation of the ESG, but also on the S, the social aspect, and on the G, which is the transparency. And this is evolving.
Question.
Yes.
Let's say if you have software teams that usually can work on different things and then integration at the end.
Yes.
In that case, in this framework, who will be responsible for the integration? Will it be the manager? Will it be the guru?
The director.
The senior management
The director.
will be responsible?
Yes. Yes. So the mentality of the honey badger is not to cancel the previous structural elements of the organizations. We have the classic hierarchy, and the one supreme element is the guru who has the power to report even to the directors, so and even to the top level management. So we will have a super project that has sub-projects, then the teams are going to work, the managers are going to, of course, communicate between them, but the higher level control will come now at the director level. So as you know it in your organization, which is flat hierarchy.
The concept is really very interesting. What do you think should be the skills and the background of that person? A scientist, an engineer?
Two things he needs to have. One, of course, he needs to know the honey budget management framework, and two, he should have, as we are going for two hats, one area of expertise. And we're proposing some thought experiments in case studies that the guru should be involved with compliance. Now, the compliance, imagine a pharmaceutical company has been mentioned, we should have somebody who knows, for example, knows at least the honey budget, but for example, is an expert in quality assurance. Or if he's in a bank, he should know about the requirements. For example, let's say we want to create a new fund, investment fund. Of course, we need to have the teams of the analysts and the traders and the sale relationship managers and the account executives. And then the guru should know something about the legal part. So we can have very, very harmoniously a guru who is also a lawyer. So not an engineer. So the existence of AI does not mean that the profile of the guru needs to be a technical person. He can be a lawyer, which is high demand actually. Yes.
And then next, how long would it take to train a team to integrate this framework?
Right. Technical people are the specialists. They have the most technical background, and the technicalities come also in satisfaction to the requirements of the company. Then the guru can be trained in the exact time can be, let's say, 3 months, but the guru should spend a little bit more time than a specialist learning how to be part of the honey badger team. And I believe that we can transform an organization in 6 months. If it is average size company, having multiple teams, we can transform it and teach it how to use the honey badger in 6 months.
And then I'm just looking at this slide here. We're here looking at global AI. We aim at promoting, among other things, the ethical application of artificial.
We will talk about it afterwards.
Sorry.
We will talk about it afterwards.
Okay.
Yes.
President of AI.
I'm just asking you. So I'm just to hear more from you, but some of what you've said have represented values like transparency
Of course.
and what good functioning of the team and so on. But do you have anything like more to draw out explicitly to explain your approach to the ethical application?
Both.
Well, the ethical thinking involved in that tool you've built.
The existence of the transparency, the commitment to the transparency, which is not based on only making promised systematic announcements of progress or of the direction of the company, but giving consciously a tool that will increase the understanding of the organization members at all the levels is something that promotes the ethics. It is, I think, the strongest point of all. There are other moves that we do. For example, having a room like this made of specialists, imagine such a room of specialists, and having everybody accepting a weakness, only one weakness, knowledge related, not character weaknesses, are irrelevant, is the first step that we can take towards transparency.
And just as a follow-up, are there any ethical concerns that you have or that you want to mitigate or you want to contribute to?
The main ethical concern is First of all, having the top management announcing one direction and then taking another, hiding elements under the carpet as it is usually done. And the ESG commitment is one of the most classic examples because ESG is translated to some preferential financial terms due to banking. I don't know if you want to comment on this. Now, everybody wants to say that they are committed to ESG, but not everybody is doing at least some effort. With such a level of transparency, the chances to be unethical on this front decreases. It is a very healthy effort. Maybe last question.
What's your view on global standards like ISO 42001 can be like leveraged as a framework by gurus or other figures?
You can adopt all the frameworks that are beneficial, and as this framework is light but has some very strong, very strict concepts, it does not exclude many things. It is the contrary, for example, that what we have seen elsewhere, where there were many details and many tools, exact tools that we need to use, as in the case in PMP, that everybody is becoming very light. Now, any quality assurance system is welcome, and it will be a super element to the framework. For example, with everything that I have told you by now, you don't know exactly how to create, say, a piece of software or to create an investment portfolio. But there are standards that can guarantee some level of quality in these efforts. So there is a compatibility due to the lightness of the framework. In terms of details, another question. Yes.
In a world where AI is so easily available now everywhere, like in Jira, in Confluence, it's like everywhere you have AI components and AI assistants.
Yes. And everything is called AI for marketing reasons.
Exactly. How would you approach convincing leadership that they have to choose only one tool?
Because this tool is not a general type of AI, but it is an AI which is for the management. So they are not choosing AI, they are choosing, if I understood well your question, they are choosing which framework to use. Are they going to use Prince 2? Are they going to use PMP combined with Prince 2 that are perfectly, which is perfectly possible? Are they going to use Scale? Are they going to use Lean Six Sigma for the specific topology of application? So the AI is not the management method. Honey Badger is the management. Yes.
Adding to her previous question, Colin. So what I noticed, like was things that the Honey Badger magic framework, and I do know you intend this stuff. It's very much to just make AI an assistant just that, because as it stands right now, a lot of commercially available AI.
Yes.
Like I said, they're acting more like entities. Like for example, ChatGPT, they're now students that in like middle and high school like relying on that instead of like reading textbooks, studying, or like asking your teachers.
Correct.
So I do understand, but it's in my opinion that is an admirable approach with regards to